Well, hey, welcome guys. Sorry we had a bit of technical difficulties on the other platform, but we're back. So I'm right now with Miss Linda Avalos, and I'm her special guest for today. And we're going to be talking about living in a millennial world. And I know this is very important right now, especially because we live in such a different society than we lived in 20 years ago. And right now, we want to get both perspectives. I'm 18, and Linda, well, we don't want to say how. So right now, this is Miss Linda. Welcome.
Hi, I'm just posting on my social media because it just wasn't working on my page. So, hi everyone. If you're coming from her page or if you're coming from my page, welcome. So we're going to start over again. My name is Linda Avalos, and I work with Latina millennials and young women. I help empower them so that they can take action, own their power, and pursue their dreams as leaders in their life, family, communities, and the world. And what does that mean? So I teach them a lot about the foundation of who they are, where they are, self-love, self-respect, and also how to be independent, how to communicate effectively, not just with yourself, but also with your family members, your community, authority figures. And this way, when you go out into the world, you're able to speak up and be heard. Whoa. So you're able to speak up and be heard, and that's my goal. So if you're watching from, again, any specific audience member, we welcome you, and I really appreciate it. So I want to thank Melanie for being my special guest, even though it's my interview on her page, and really talk about what it's like living in a millennial world as a non-millennial, so that we can communicate effectively. Because so many non-millennials are not able to understand millennials right now. For instance, like millennials are taking over jobs, they're young, they're faster, they don't know anything about, well, okay, I don't know, I don't want to judge, but the instant gratification, it's like super, you guys like things fast. You don't know what it's like to live in a world where we had to go to encyclopedias to find information, where we didn't have cell phones, and we didn't have a lot of the instant gratification that millennials and the younger generations have now. And so so if you're watching, what I want to talk about and ask really Melanie is, being a millennial and being your age, there are 4 topics that I want to talk about today. And the first one is, we're going to get really serious, so just FYI, is rape culture. So rape has been around obviously for a long time.
Yes. And
but rape culture, like that's a new lingo, millennial world. So I have no idea what rape culture means. It doesn't sound like I want to be a part of it, but I want to know what it is, and I want to inform the audience. So what is that?
so basically, rape culture now, we're living in a world where sometimes rape, unfortunately, is justified. And for example, for a woman, it's justified in the terms that, were you drunk? Did you drink too much? Were you wearing something that was too provocative? Were you just not in the right mind, and were you just making a bad decision? Was it a bad hookup? That is rape culture, and what we're doing as millennials is we're fighting against that. We're making sure that this is not a woman's fault. This is no one's fault besides the perpetrator, whoever did this to you. And we're fighting against that, and we're fighting to empower these women that, hey, you don't have to be shunned. You don't have to be in shame. It's horrific, but you are a survivor, and this is, like, you're going to move on past this and grow much stronger.
Right. So what I'm hearing is, as a non-millennial, is, I think even women my age and older, so I'm in my 30s, so I thank God have never been a victim of rape, but the statistics are really high of domestic violence, of molestation, of sexual abuse, and rape is obviously top on the highly, what's the word I'm looking for? Just on the list of being something that, of course, nobody wants to talk about or nobody wants to admit. And so for women my age and older, we feel ashamed. There's a big piece of shame. There's a big piece of guilt. Okay, so there's a big piece of guilt, and it's a big piece of guilt. Not that we never wanted to, or it's just that we never spoke up. And it seems millennials are making it a point. Enough is enough. And then I love that. So rape culture, right? That's a lingo. So let's go to the second, which is dress code, right? Dress code is another lingo. Like, obviously I know what dress code means. Like, if you're going to go to a formal attire event, the dress code is formal attire. Black tie event, you're going to dress super formal, black. So I get what dress code is, but why are millennials talking about it?
So basically right now with dress code, a lot of students and a lot of younger adults, we're going against it because, especially women, we're kind of put in this stage where you can't wear short shorts because, for example, in school, I was raised on the dress code that you can't wear short shorts past 2 inches above your knee because that would distract men, for example, for schoolwork. It's a distraction. And we're fighting a whole against that, saying why instead of shunning or shaming girls from wearing what they want, why don't we teach men or other women to respect the bodies and not sexualize it? Because, you know, we live in a world where it's okay to wear what you want and you shouldn't be judged by it. And, you know,
so taking away from being a woman.
Yes, and it's taking away from that empowerment that, you know, if you don't dress a certain way, then you're not being modest and you're not being ladylike.
Right. And you know what? That's funny because to me, I mean, I went to an all-girls, I went to a private school, I had to wear uniforms, and even though I went to an all-girls school, like, we would get detention for having our skirts a certain length above our knees. And I mean, there weren't any boys. Of course, after school, we would have boys around, but we didn't have that. It's still an issue. Dress code is still being an issue, but again, it seems like millennials are taking a big step, like, making sure that their voice is being, making sure that their voice is being heard on, hey, we're going to dress the way we want, and we're done with being judged. We're done. Which I love that. So let's go to our third topic, which is being natural. So tell me, I mean, obviously it sounds obvious, but tell me about being natural.
So right now, being natural is a whole idea that, you know, for example, girls are just taking in that whole natural look. Even if you're still wearing makeup, you're not putting on a lot. You're not trying to hide everything.
Caking it on, right?
Exactly. And even though if girls still decide to wear as much makeup as they want, that's accepted and it's okay. But right now we're leaning more to like natural beauty and being who we want to be and showing like this is who we are and kind of the whole self-love. You know, girls are showing self-love to other girls, and I love that about now that, you know, for example, if on Twitter a girl posts a selfie or something and she's saying like, oh, I'm really feeling myself today, other girls will comment and be like, you're looking good, you're slaying, you're looking beautiful.
Which is great. Slaying, that's another millennial. That's a millennial term. I'm like, what does that mean? Like, I have an idea, but I'm not sure. Keep me in the loop because I want to feel cool. So that's really awesome too, because when I first got on my journey of I need to love myself, it didn't sound cool. It sounded really weird. I'm like, who says that? Like, where am I going to go to learn how to love myself? Like, who says that? And at the time, I was in my early 20s. So now to see young women being able to say, hey, you know what? I love the way I look and I don't need makeup, or even if I do or if I don't, but it doesn't define my beauty, is great. However, I mean, and I'm sure maybe some of the viewers can comment. I'd love to hear comments about, you know, now we have different plastic surgery. So it's not just boobs anymore, boobies, breasts, you know, our girls in the front. It's also now we're getting butt implants, which I'm sorry, but that's ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
So even though we have this natural beauty going on, I'm curious, like, I don't know the statistics, and I'll probably look into what are the statistics for, and I don't expect you to know, but what are the statistics for the age group of women who are doing the butt implants? And I'm not trying to judge. I'm not judging. You do whatever you do, because, I mean, I think I have a little booty, and we're not going to go there right now, but it's interesting. It's just a topic of conversation. Like, why are so many women not feeling comfortable about their body? A lot of women, they'll say, oh, well, I'm doing this for myself. But makeup really has been done in the past for other women. It's not really for men. Like, a lot of men that I know that are in relationships, committed long-term relationships, are like, don't put any makeup on. Like, we don't like it. We don't. So, you know, that's just, we could go deeper. We could go deeper in that. So I love that right now anyway. Millennials are being all about natural beauty and really at least being aware of natural beauty and saying, hey, I want to love myself the way that I am. And that to me is priceless. I think I love that. I love that. Okay, fourth and final topic today, which is really combines every single topic that we've talked about today in this Facebook Live, which is feminism. It seems like it's popular to be a feminist right now. And what does that mean, right? So before being a feminist, it was never popular, at least growing up in college. I didn't always do the Chicana power rights. Not that I'm not a Chicana, not that I don't agree with it, but what is it? What does feminism mean? And before, I think there was a lot of different definitions, and I think there are a lot of different definitions. However, now it seems that there's starting to become more of a unified
like a group
definition. Before it was always like, oh, well, you were against men and men are bad, and it was always this competition. And I consider myself a feminist, but not until the last few years I would say, okay, yeah, I'm a feminist. And only because I didn't want to define something, some people, that wasn't clear. It wasn't really clear. So being a feminist now, which I would stand by the definition, and everyone might have their own opinion, is I don't believe men and women are equal. I believe women bring something amazing to the table, and I believe men bring something amazing to the table. And when we unify our greatness, then we are able to work together to acquiesce and to live in a better society and live in a better community and come up with a world that can be a better place. So that's my definition. But feminism, this is a big deal right now, and I love that millennials are talking about it. So tell me what your point of view is about feminism.
So basically right now, feminism, it's not just equality for women, although that is a big major point. It's more acceptance and just being treated the same just because you're different, whether it be you're LGBTQ, you're either you're a man, because feminist is not just for women, it's for everyone. And that's the great thing about it now. It's not just being a woman that makes you a feminist. You can be anyone you want, and that makes it great.
Awesome. So I really appreciate everyone for watching. Please post comments, share the video. I'd love to hear your thoughts, whether you're millennial or a non-millennial. And yeah, and if you want, oh yes, I'm having a live webinar actually tomorrow for parents of teenagers to empower their daughters. That's exactly what I mentioned in the first part of the video. If you want more information, go to bit